VC, once again, 10 beers. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at what VC wants us to do. They actually donated this before the show, so let's see what the hell this is here. Put the PC shot on, and it looks a little bit like a lecture here of sorts. Knights of Templar regalia in the background. Let's take a listen.
It doesn't matter. I could spend all day trying to prove to you that Jesus is Lucifer, but I don't need to. Jesus literally told us that he is.
Wow, this guy's getting a little deep here. This guy's getting a little deep. Jesus is Lucifer. Anyway, let's go back to, once again, the video that was requested by VC. It began that Jesus is Lucifer, huh? So let's play this.
Jesus said, quote, "I am the morning star." He's literally saying he's Lucifer. Do you think Jesus, of all people in the entire universe, wouldn't know that by saying he's the morning star, he's saying that he's that same God of wisdom from earlier in the Bible? And by saying that he is the son of Adam, he's saying that he is the reincarnation of Adam. He is the rebel God. He is the green man. And you could see why someone wouldn't want to just come out and admit that they're this person. Because it could open a whole can of worms.
Yeah, exactly.
The whole world has already been set up.
By the way, the son of the morning, or the star of the morning, represents Lucifer in not only a biblical sense, but going back to the Old Testament, Hebrew, the Torah, all that shit. Oh, jeez. Can y'all stop donating to me, please, dude? Seriously. I mean, for fuck's sake, I almost skipped this damn fucking broadcast. And wait a minute, Art Hammond, oh shit, Reverend Ralph is going to be pissed with this video you're watching. Be prepared for an earful from him in the Thunderdome for playing this, Ghost. Yeah, I know, dude. I know that. All right. Anyway, can we get back to what we're doing here? We're listening to this guy talk about how Jesus is Lucifer.
Believe that Lucifer is Satan, that Lucifer is Antichrist. If Jesus were to come back today, the Christians would be the first to persecute him. I often hear people stumbling over the concept of Jesus sacrificing himself to God to save humanity. How does that work? Why did Jesus die on the cross in the first place? I even hear atheists making fun of this. God sacrificed himself to God for God. No. That's not how it
by
works.
The way,
first of all,
for all those idiots that didn't get the sarcasm when I made that atheist tweet yesterday, you people are tards, dude. All right, can we get back to Jesus as Lucifer here, courtesy of VC, who donated this before the show. And thank you, VC. I'm sure people are being like, wait a minute, Jesus is Lucifer? Let's go ahead and play this, all right?
By the virtue of there being a trinity, implies that there's disagreement. It would only be one. This all goes back to that same bargain that Lucifer made with God in the book of Job for the souls of humanity, as well as Adam and Eve's rebellion from God out of the Garden of Eden. Jesus sacrificed himself to save humanity because the rules God set for us to get out of here, the tests that we have to endure to ascend to the next level, are not fair. We are set up to fail. Jesus broke the game and defeated hell, allowing us all to reincarnate every time we die. And the irony is, he did it by living a perfect life the way that God demands. The rebel won by following the rules. Thousands of people have died deaths.
I'll be honest with you. I mean, I don't necessarily prescribe to this, but I can understand where this gentleman is trying to allude to this because, I mean, whether or not you believe in Jesus or not, why is Jesus the most persecuted deity on this planet? I mean, if everybody thinks Jesus is a bunch of shit like the atheists and the Satanists and the Jews and the Muslims ain't too crazy about him either and shit, even though they'd like to claim that Jesus is insignificant, why do they focus so much effort and energy in persecuting people that believe in Jesus? You know, I mean, why is it that the atheists, even though they supposedly hate Christianity and think it's insignificant, why is it that they put so much effort and energy to persecute those that believe in Jesus? Same thing with the Jews, same thing with the Satanists, Same thing with the Muslims. If Jesus was so insignificant, then why is it that anybody who follows Jesus is persecuted? And you can't answer that question. And when you can't answer that question, that should make you go,
Worse than Jesus. It's not amazing that he died such a terrible death. It's amazing that he, of all people, lived the perfect life when he was the one that taught us that doing so was total bullshit. Now when you get to the pearly gates at the end, it doesn't matter how much God thinks that you're a sinner. It doesn't matter how much he wants to send you to hell for eternity.
Are you kidding me,
dude?
If
you tell God that you're with Jesus, he has to let you in.
He has to let you. Dude, this is a very good, presentation. Well, you don't necessarily have to believe it, but it's a decent case on what this guy's talking about.
The term Antichrist is exactly like the term Satan. It's just a title. It means someone or something that is against Christ. The book of Revelation never says the word Antichrist ever. There are several different characters in the Bible that your local pastor probably tried to convince you were the Antichrist, but there's this one particular character that's definitely not him. You know what? I'm just going to describe him the way that the Christians describe him. Keep in mind everything that I've been telling you for the past 3 years, all right? In the end times, the Antichrist is going to try to unite all the religions and convince them that they've all been worshiping the same Messiah. Lucifer. So, you guys see someone that looks like a son of Adam going around trying to convince people that all the religions are the same religion and that he's the Messiah of all of them and that we're all leading into the end times? Watch out for that guy. The metaphor for the light bringer is really simple. The morning star is the light bringer that appears right before the sun. Lucifer is the light bringer that appears right before the apocalypse.
All right, dude. This is, we get it, dude, all right? Remembering our story.
I've talked at length about how the story of the Green Man, the story of Orion...
Hold on, let me pause this. The donator wanted me to stop watching at a certain time. He wanted me to stop watching at 47.
The story of the apocalypse is a story that we tell over and over again in humanity. It seems every artist has a connection to this story, whether they know it or not. I'm so thankful for all the artists, musicians, creators, what have you, that have kept this secret knowledge alive, that have depicted it in their art so that I have a plethora of material to draw from. I mean, I used to review
I'll be
movies.
honest with you. I know this guy's kind of cringe, but he kind of knows a little bit. He knows a little bit. He's probably, I wouldn't say he's 33 degree, but, he knows a little bit, man,
Movie.
He's already done the Hiram Abiff entrance into Masonry.
Because I love the hero's journey. A perfect example of this is in the film The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus. The film is obviously esoteric as hell. The film starts with a room full of wizards telling different parts of the same story. Satan enters the room and tries to convince the wizards to stop. But the wizards insist that they have to keep telling this story in order for the world to continue to exist. And that is exactly what I'm doing with this series. I'm casting a spell of renewal on the planet. I'm telling the story again.
Calm your ass down, buddy, all right? Calm your ass down. You're not Marina Abramovic, okay? You're not the high priest or priestess for the elites. All right, calm your ass down. Rothschild isn't inviting you to his party to decor the shit and esoteric, evil, devil shit. Shut up, okay? Calm down, dude. Calm down. Hold on, pause this. We got Big Capitalist Daddy back in the house, dude. What's up, Big Capitalist Daddy? He said, one of my bachelors is in theology and divinity, and this guy is full of shit. Well, I'm not saying that he's 100% accurate. I'm saying that he knows bits and pieces of certain elements of the secrets, and this is why this guy thinks he's so brilliant.
To exist. But it seems like of all the artists, musicians are the ones that are the most obsessed with this secret knowledge. They, like me, want to get the message out there and want to communicate to you what they know. So they,
pause this. British Ron bought me a beer. We'll get to it after the video, British Ron. Jesus Christ.
Integrated into their art. They write songs about it. People like Katy Perry, they might do it because, you know, they're told to do it. I don't know. But her
yeah,
music
they're
videos
told
are
to do it.
Esoteric
Katy Perry
head
is
trips.
obviously
Once
told
at
to
the
do
Super
it.
Bowl, she
I'll be honest with you. I don't know if y'all ever saw that Super Bowl performance by Katy Perry, but she looked completely possessed. So I just think she's a conduit for whatever the fuck they're trying to conjure up through this person particularly.
famously depicted the woman riding the beast described in Revelation. I used to be a really good singer. Chris Cornell is my favorite vocalist, and I could belt Cornell. So I became pretty familiar with Soundgarden.
Oh yeah? Well, let's hear it. Why don't you belt out some Chris Cornell dynamic range there, you fucking long hair?
Half of the Soundgarden library is about things that happen around the apocalypse. Cornell's signature was even the Alpha and the Omega turned upside down, and a lot of his album art was different apocalyptic images, like the sunflower is obviously the black hole sun with the Medusa sunburst crown. Bad Motorfinger has a similar black hole sun symbol, except it's designed angled like a microwave magnetron, and in the center it has a pyramid, and in the center of that is a spark plug. Just in case you couldn't tell that this is depicting a plasma event. Tarot cards are...
I think you're reading in a little bit too much to that. Don't get me wrong, I think that people who designed the album covers to some of these bands obviously put some symbolism in it, but calm your ass down, dude. I mean, what the fuck are you talking about?
Another great way that these symbols and concepts are kept alive. Your local witch probably has a few decks. I don't really use these, I just like the art, especially with the Hermetic deck. Looking at these cards sets my brain on fire. I wish I had the patience to sit here and describe every secret piece of
this right here is Masonic artwork. There's Yakin, there's Boaz, there's Jacob's Ladder. There's well, I don't want to get to everything, but there's a lot of symbolism in here, and believe it or not, the eye and the star here. You notice that there is a sun, there's a moon, there's a star, there's an eye. The eye, believe it or not, represents the star Sirius. So just in case you're not a Mason, you just got some 30-degree knowledge there.
Symbolism to you. I'm sorry I don't. But an important one is the Masonic concept of the two paths or the two pillars. There's two paths you can possibly take in life. The light path, the good path, or the path of darkness, the path of evil. Celebrities will often...
This is completely inaccurate, I'll be honest with you. Yakin and Boaz... they technically represent duality, but duality is represented by the checkerboard floor. That's duality. That represents duality. Believe it or not, Yakin and Boaz actually represents a pathway to well, never. I shouldn't even be talking about this shit, but let this guy give you his interpretation of whatever the fuck he thinks it is.
Post pictures of themselves covering one eye in a clever way. Usually that's their way to sort of advertise which path they've chosen. Now,
that's bullshit, because really, the one eye thing is a tribute to, depending on which eye is covered, either Horus or Set. So, just letting you know, this all goes back to Egypt, okay?
Have to make a case for why the path of darkness is bad. But the path of light is not, by default, good. The path of light is the light that Yahweh would want you to take. That's the godly way. The path of darkness is the path of Azazel, the path of Satan. That's the one that binds you here. You don't want to be bound here. See, the God that has lived his life as a human being knows better.
This guy's getting a little nutty.
Both of those choices are the wrong choice. Jesus taught us the concept of the narrow path. Except they forgot to write down in the Gospels what the narrow path means. It's based on the two pillars. The narrow path is the center path.
Dude,
let me explain.
Dude, are you fucking... Where did the hell did this guy learn about Masonry? Where the fuck did this guy learn about this? Are you fucking kidding me?
Thing by being godly. But by being godly, you're ignoring your basic animal needs. You are still a human. You are still stuck in this body. Yes, you are as a god, but you still have to satiate the carnal needs of the body
this is
that you
totally
inhabit.
this
You
is
still have
totally
to-
not what Yakin and Boaz represent. All right. And by the way, he left out the center pillar, which is the apprentice pillar, which is a very integral portion of the pillar system of Masonry, you know? So just saying,
to love
just saying.
yourself. We have to eat. We need food. We have to love. We need to satiate our hearts. We need to have sex. We need to exercise our libidos. When we deny ourselves
Are you
our
kidding
basic
me?
human needs.
Wait a minute. This sounds like a preamble that he tells a bunch of people to try to convince them to have orgies or some shit. Give me the give me a fucking break.
creates a sickness in our head. Catholic priests used to marry. Even the Pope had a wife. Then all of a sudden they decided it would be virtuous to become abstinent. And then all of a sudden a sickness grew into the heads
Dude,
of
give
the
me
priests.
a break.
Suddenly their minds started justifying abhorrent impulses. Suddenly their egos started justifying
All right, are we
evil
almost
acts.
done
But
here?
at the
All right, we
same
got
time,
30
we
more
have
seconds.
to recognize that we're better than this. We deserve better than this. And to ascend beyond this, we have to constantly strive to improve ourselves, to become more godly. But you can't do that at the sacrifice of your basic carnal
Dude,
needs.
you're an
you
idiot.
have to walk the path right down the middle.
You're a
Under
complete
Yahweh's
idiot.
law, we have to follow only the path of good. But that's impossible. Anyways, I shouldn't have to explain why Catholic priests are evil.
All right.
I was a
that's-
choir boy.
Yeah, oh, you're a choir boy. Well, that makes perfect sense now, doesn't it? Anyway, thank you, VC, for that one. The guy was alluding to something that was rather interesting, but unfortunately, he started going down a path of egoism, thinking that, look, I'm trying to cast a spell. I'm trying to cast a worldwide spell so that I can captivate everybody under the narrow path. And the narrow path, and this guy was literally giving his own interpretations of Masonry, and it was I don't know about that. Anyway, thank you, VC. I do appreciate it. I think it was an interesting commentary about him suggesting that Jesus is Lucifer. But after that, dude, he lost me, dude. He just completely lost me.